To set up Windows XP on 86 box, you need a couple of resources. First of all, you would need to download the Windows XP Service Pack Free Home Edition ISO. Then you have to download 86 box 64 for Windows, and then you want to download version 2 4.2.1 on 86 box. Copy all of that, paste it, and then you want to paste it onto 86 box. And after you've pasted all the files on 86 box, you want to go to the ROMs and rename, and then you want to copy the ROMs and go to the Windows XP file, and then you want to paste it and then rename ROMs master to ROMs, and after that you start up 86 box. After you start up Windows XP, first of all you would want to go to Tools, go to Settings, and then you want to select 1998 machine type to 1998 slot 2, and then you would definitely want to leave it as Gigabyte GAG6XU, or also you want to say Supermicro S2 DGE, and then you would want to go to Intel Pentium, and I want to set it to 450 for example, and then I would want to set the megabytes to 256 megabytes. For PCs, if you have higher PCs with CPU, you would want to use this, but to me, because I'm running the lower spec PC, I would want to set it to lower, as far as 300. So after that, you want to go to Display and set the video to the 3DFX Voodoo 3000 graphics. Windows XP comes with this graphics card pre-installed, and it also comes with the Sound Blaster PCI 128 pre-installed already, so you don't have to install those manually. And then you want to go to the HD controller and set it to internal controller. And after that, you want to go to floppy and CD drives, set it to ATAPI, and then I would want to set it to Toshiba CD-ROM, the latest version, and then I want to set the channel to 10. To me, gonna leave it as 00. And then we're gonna go to floppy drives, and I'm gonna set this to 35-inch, and then I'm gonna set the second one to none. And then you want to go to hard disks, and then you want to customize. Now I want to customize this to 40000, which is 40 gigabytes. You can always change the speed RAM disk and choose the fastest RPM, but to me, I'm going to leave it as RAM disk because it should have the maximum speed. And then you want to set the channel to 10, and then you want to give the file name as Windows Win XP 40 gigabytes. Click Save, and then you want to click OK, and then remember to partition and format the newly created drive. Click OK, and then you want to click OK. Don't show this message again. Hit Save, and after you've done that, it should recognize the 3DFX Voodoo 3. And then it's recognizing the which is not right, because I'm running the old one. So I'm going to set it to Gigabyte, and then I'm going to set this to for Intel Pentium as 300. Click OK, which I am already in now. And then we're going to let this thing load up. And then it's detecting the Toshiba, and it's detected the 86 box hard drive, and then it's just updated, so it says disk boot failure. After that, you would want to go to Media, go to CD-ROM, go to Image, and then you want to go to Windows XP Service Pack 3 Home Edition, and then you want to set the full screen to full screen stretch, and then you want to do a hard reset. Don't show this message again. Click Reset. And then we're going to go Control Alt Page Up. Don't show this message again, and click OK. And after that, we're going to press Delete to enter Setup. And then we're going to check the standard BIOS, which is all good. Everything's all set up. And then we're going to go to the BIOS feature setup. And then we're going to set this boot sequence to CD-ROM and install it to the hard drive. Now, Windows XP comes with plug-and-play pre-installed, and I'm going to set the resources controlled by to auto, which I do need. And then we're going to check the integrated peripherals, and then we're going to check whether I need the floppy drive or not. I'm going to disable the FDD, and I don't need the serial ports, so I'm going to leave them all to disabled. And after that, go to Save and Exit Setup, press Y, press Enter. And then it should start booting up the emulator. And then Setup is inspecting the computer. And then we're starting the Windows XP setup. Microsoft Windows XP is really the best Windows operating system I remembered back in the 2000s decade, but a really cool operating system. But the problem is you had to do a lot of security updates. And after Windows XP, you get Windows Vista and then Windows 7. I personally did like Windows Vista because, and so does the other users, because I loved using the movie maker that Vista came with, but you can always get your own movie. But Windows 7 then took away the movie maker, but you can get your own movie maker, which is not a problem. And then in the early 2010s decade, Windows 7 was more obtrusive and stabler and more stable as Windows Vista. But Windows 8 is the worst operating system. It's designed to be used on the tablet. I also did try and do a setup installation of Windows ME on 86 box, but then I tried also to fix it as well, and I remembered getting an error message every time I tried to boot up emulator saying invalid system disk, replace the disk and then press any CD, because someone told me not to install Windows Millennium Edition on 86 box because Windows ME is the worst operating system ever to be used. So it's always better to avoid Windows ME for 86 box. Also, Windows XP setup hopefully should work properly. So now we're going to set up Windows XP now. We're going to press enter, F8 for I agree, and then we're going to install it to unpartitioned space. Press enter to install, and then we're going to format the partition using the NTFS file system. So press enter, and the setup is now formatting. Now, we're installing it with 40 gigabytes. Now, it installs much quicker for PCs that are for 86 box than on PC emulator. And I highly hope Windows XP, if you were to run Windows XP on 86 box, it is recommended that you use the FreeDFX Voodoo 3000 and the Intel Pentiums too, which can handle Windows XP really well. And then after Windows 7 and Windows 8.1, which I don't want to say, I have to say Microsoft Windows XP is the best Windows operating system ever. Sadly, Microsoft had ended support for Windows XP in the 8th of April 2014, and then forcing all people to upgrade their PCs to Windows 7 or Windows 8.1, which was much more stable than Windows 8. But then in 2015 came Windows 10, which was a free upgrade to users who have Windows 7 or Windows 8.1. And I really loved Windows 10. I have to say, best Windows operating system I have ever used. And then 6 years after Windows 10 came Windows 11, in which most people would have to upgrade in 2025. Even though this year Windows XP is turning 24 years old in October of 2025. at the same time as Windows 10 support is ending in October 2025. Now, for those who still have Windows 10, you should all try and think about upgrading to Windows 11, because Windows 11, I have to say, is way better than Windows 10. And if you go for Windows 11 after support ends for Windows 10 in 6 months' time, which will be October 2025, it's best that you start using Windows 11 before the new Windows operating system comes out. And if your PC is not compatible to upgrade to Windows 11, then you should buy a new gaming PC. I highly recommend for the higher CPU with Windows XP on 86 bucks or PC emulator, get the brand new gaming PC installed in 2025, or wait for PC emulator version 18 to come out sometime later this year or for next year or so. And after setup has copied files, we will be going for the next steps on how to complete the installation of Windows XP on your 86 box. Okay, so it's taken about 20 to 30, took half an hour to copy all the files now, so it's now got to 100% complete now, which will happen in moments. And now it's got to 100% complete. It's loading all the information file while setup initializes the Windows XP configuration. So it's saving configuration, and we need to restart the computer. So press A to restart, and then we're going to go to press delete to enter the setup. And then we're going to BIOS setup, and then we're going to set the boot sequence to hard drive only. Save and exit setup, press Y, then press enter. Verify and pull data. And there you have it. Microsoft Windows XP. Made in 2001 by Microsoft. And now it's installing Windows, which is going to take a while. Windows XP introduces a new redesigned start menu and a new redesigned box, which also makes it easier to find important information and to access the programs you use most frequently. So it's just installing Windows, and it's just setup is going to complete in approximately 38 minutes, 39 minutes, I would say. And of course, with Windows XP, it gets you up running with the latest updates. Windows Update provides you with critical software updates and hardware support files for your Windows XP computer. You could choose to have set up check the Windows Update website to ensure that you have the latest updates to make your Windows installation go smoothly. And now it's just installing devices. And now we're going to regional and language options. So if you live outside of America, you would want to go to customize, and you will want to set this to English, set it to United Kingdom, which is up there. And then you want to set that to United Kingdom. And then you want to set language to English, which is the United Kingdom. First of all, you want to click on Add, and then you want to go to Input Language, scroll up, and then go United Kingdom. Click OK, click Apply, and after that, you want to set the default language to English United Kingdom, remove United States, which you can't remove until the second time you do click on that, and then click Advanced, and then you want to set it to English, which is United Kingdom. Oh no, I meant scroll up and click United Kingdom, click Apply, and then click OK, and then click Next. And then you want to enter in the name PCM tutorial, and then you want to click Next, and then you have to enter in the product key. Okay, after you've entered in the product key, we're going to call the computer name 86 box. This computer's name is 86 box, so we're going to click on Next, and then we're going to set the time to GMT, and it's installing the network. And now setup should complete in about 32 minutes, depending on the speed on your computer or your emulator. It's installing network as quickly as it can. And of course, Windows XP comes with DirectX 8 already pre-installed. And now it's just deleting the files and it's copying files. And now it's just completing the installation. And it's just installing start menu. It's installing start menu items. And now it's just registering components. Now it's just saving settings before the installation is completed, and we're now finalizing the installation. And it's just removing any temporary files used. And the setup is now just finished. And it's restarting the emulator now. So I hope Windows XP on 86 box works better than on Windows Millennium Edition. And there you have it. Windows XP is working perfectly on the emulator. And now it's going to the Windows XP installation, finalizing installation. Welcome to Microsoft Windows XP. We're going to spend a few minutes, so we're going to click Next. Yes, help protect my PC by turning on automatic updates. Click Next. It's lagging a lot. And then we're going to call it 86 box. Tutorial. Click Next. And that's it. We're all ready to go. So now we're going to finish the installation. It is lagging, I have to say. But I would definitely recommend for Windows XP with a higher CPU on 86 bucks or PC emulator, get a new gaming PC. And I would definitely want to say 5.7 GH set or 6.0 GH set and above should be the best performance the emulator should run for Windows XP on 86 bucks. And now we're on 86 bucks now. So now all we have to do is right click on properties and go to properties. Your computer might be a risk. So I already have an antivirus on my computer. So all I have to do now is go to virus protection, click recommendations, and I have an antivirus program. Click OK. I don't want to take a tour on Windows XP. And after that, we're going to go to settings, and it's set to 800 by 600 pixels resolution. And then all we have to do now is go to my computer, and then I'm going to right click on properties, and then we're going to go to advanced, and then we're going to go hardware, and then we're going to go device manager. And of course, Windows XP does come with the 3DFX Voodoo 3000 pre-installed on your PC emulator. And now the last step we're going to do is to test out one of these games. Going to move the recycle bin up to the top left, turn the volume up a bit. And now we've got the best volume performance for PC emulator on our 86 box. Now we're going to test out one of the games. And now we're testing out one of the... And now we're testing out one of the Disney games, what I absolutely loved back in my childhood. But of course, a lot faster, I would have to say. But this is Monsters Inc. Scare Island. Working perfectly on 86 bucks. Now I would recommend, it can be a lot faster, but I do recommend playing it on the PC emulator using Windows 98 would be better than on the normal PC. But thank you for enjoying that. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Find this tutorial very helpful. So if you have any questions, please leave your comments below and like your videos. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And I do hope you find this tutorial very useful. And I will hope this video is useful. So please leave your comments below and like your videos. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And I'll see you again for the future tutorials. Goodbye.